Good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday, October 4, and today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people don't even know to talk about. Have you heard it that you have a 3%? If you have a 3% mortgage or a 4% mortgage, then that's going to be the thing that you want to be able to get. And everybody's trying to get the lowest interest rate. Go low, get the lowest interest rate you possibly can. And that's going to be a good thing. But here's a question I have for you. If you have a 3% interest rate, why is that good? Answer that question. If you have a 3% interest rate, ask yourself, why is that good? I need some people to come up to the stage, even if you don't have a question right now. I need to get at least 2 or 3 people up here with me. Raise your hand. You don't have to talk, but please come to the stage. Raise your hand. Come on up. And I would appreciate it if you help populate the stage this morning. That would be great. I have the professor here. Professor Dalton, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you for asking. Anxious to learn about what you got to talk about today.
Listen, is there a particular reason? Why that the subject is interesting to you?
I think it's about how I can put more money in my pocket. So I'm very interested.
Listen, we're going to talk about that today. How we can put more money in your pocket. So I am unique is here watching us on YouTube, tuning in. Good morning. Let's see. Let me put that on the screen. It says, good morning, listening while getting ready for work. Listen, I'm glad to have you here. Glad to have you here this morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump right in. My name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And for 18 years, we've been telling people the truth about how amortization actually works, how banks make their money through interest, and how you don't have to pay all of that interest. And you want to know the truth. We want to be transparent about how these things actually work so that you will not make financial mistakes. Listen, there is a reason why how loans work is not taught in our school system at any level, not even in college, not even at the graduate level. It's not taught how amortization actually works and how we can work to defeat it. There are no strategies really that work to defeat it. You only get that here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to show you some things right about now. So let me get my let me go ahead. I've got to get boom. I'm going to get my link to my YouTube channel ready for you. And so let's see here. There it is, copy. We want to share that. And I'm going to put that link in the chat. All right. Putting that link in the chat right now. Okay. There it is. I think that's the right. Let me see here. Hold on. I think that's the right. No, that's not the right one. Uh-oh. I think I put the wrong one in. Shoot. Hold on for a second. Let me, I don't think that's the right one. Hold on. I got to get the right link for you. But anyway, it should take you to, that link will take you to the YouTube channel. All right. That will take you to the YouTube channel so that you can click on the right live presentation. Prepaying a low interest mortgage can make you a lot of money. So let me get here. Let me see about, there we go. All right. Yeah, that's the one I want. Here's the one I want. Okay, copy that link and put that link in. All right, here comes the right link. There it is. Boom. That's the one you want. That's the one that's going to take you to YouTube. So if you want to see what I'm getting ready to put on the screen, go to YouTube And when you get there, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the videos, and don't forget to comment. We need your comments. All right. So let's jump in right now. If you're new to the stage, go to YouTube so you can see what I'm putting on the stage right now. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you heard anything about interest rates yesterday, interest rates went to, I think, a 20-year high to 7.7%. And I'm going to tell you, do you know I don't care? I don't care about high interest rates. In fact, I kind of like the higher interest rates when you understand how an amortization schedule actually works. When you understand how it works, you can do a lot of things with your mortgages, with these interest rates. When they get higher, you can put yourself in a better position. But first of all, I've got on the screen, I've got an amortization schedule. All right. And I'm going to put $350,000 in here. 350,000. All right. I got to get rid of one of those zeros. Okay. 350,000 we're going to put in at that 7.7% interest rate that I talked about yesterday. About today, and it just went to that earlier. So now here's what you're hearing, ladies and gentlemen. 350,000 at 7.7. My payment is $2,495.36. The total amount of interest that the bank wants is $548,000. But what if I had a 3% loan? What if I had a 3% loan instead? Well, let's take a look at that. So, all right, we're going to duplicate the tab. All right, and we're going to change this to 3% and take a look at the difference. $2,495.36 as opposed to what? $1,475.61. My goodness, look at they want 181,000. But here's the thing, folks, I need to ask you. I got a $350,000 loan. I got it at 3%, and the bank still wants $181,000 in interest. So my question to you this morning is, does 181,000 sound like 3% of 350,000? Anyone? Does it sound like that? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat if it sounds like that. That sounds like 3%. Does that sound like 3% to you? What is going on here? But let me tell you, what's really happening is that when it's all said and done, all 3% mortgages are 51% mortgages. That's number one. Even if you have a 3% mortgage, you have they're going to charge you by the time you get done paying for this thing, you're going to pay back half as much as you borrowed. Half. Listen. Oh, well, that's not very apparent. Well, let me do it this way. I'm going to duplicate this tab again. I'm going to change the 350 to 200,000. Okay, 200,000 at 3%. Watch this. Okay. They want $103,555.60. $103,000 on a $200,000 loan at 3%. And I'm supposed to feel good about the fact that it's 3%. When again, it is 51.777% interest on that thing. So a 3% loan is really a 51% loan all day. Okay. Listen, if I asked you, if you asked me to borrow $10, okay, if you asked me to borrow $10 and I said, yes, pay me back my $10 tomorrow and, put $5 with it. Put $5 with it. All right. So you're going to pay me back $15. So what interest rate am I asking for, ladies and gentlemen? Put it in the chat. If you borrow $10 from me and I say, yeah, give me my $10 back and $5 interest. Okay. Listen, folks, do you realize that's 50% interest? Does it matter? Does it matter if I call it 3%? Does it matter if I call it 1%? Does it matter what I call it? What matters is how much I actually end up paying. So if the bank says that this thing is a 3% mortgage and you end up paying $103,555 on that, why are we happy to get this interest rate? So let me show you what happens when we prepay. So I've got I Am Unique says she got it right. It's 50%. I'm asking for 50%. Listen, do you want to borrow money from me at 50%? You want to borrow money from me at 50% interest? Anybody? Because I'll be glad to lend it to you at 50% interest. Okay. But here's what I need you to see. Let's go to what happens when we prepay. A lot of investors, I Am Unique says negative. I Am Unique says she doesn't want to borrow money from me. Okay. I don't want to borrow money from Don if he's going to be charging me 50%. Okay. So folks, come on up to the stage. Come on up to the stage as we dive deep into this thing. You want to be on YouTube right now. I put the link in the chat. All right. That will take you to what it is we're talking about. Professor Dalton says the mafia charges less. The mafia charges less. Okay, listen. So here's what we need to do. All right. Strategic Secret is online with us this morning. Good morning. Strategic Secrets is tuning in from watching us on YouTube this morning. Folks, don't forget to when you get to YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, please. Subscribe. We're growing our YouTube channel, and we could use all the help we can get there. I got $350,000 at 3% interest. I'm going to teach you how to read this amortization schedule, and then we're going to do a little bit of math to see how we can benefit from this whole thing. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? And Strategic Secret says, it says morning. All right, let me put that on the screen. It says morning here in Texas, taking in the wisdom. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you for being here with us this morning. All right, so we've got $350,000 at 3%. My payment is $1,475.61. Let's take a look at what's going on here with the first payment. Even at 3%, when I make that first payment, 600 of my dollars goes to principal, $875 is attributed to interest. So listen, I've paid all $1,475 to the investor, to the bank. All $1,475 went to the bank. But how much of my money gets credited to how much I owe? Only $600 of it. All right. Only $600, which means if only $600 is credited, do you realize that they have to keep charging me money because I'm paying down the loan. I borrowed $350,000, but I'm paying it back at $600 a month. Yeah, I know my payment says $1,475, but this is what's actually going to the loan. $600 every single month. Listen, that's the first year. In the second year, well, $600 is going to the loan. In the third year, still $600 is going to the loan every single month. Now, remember, I'm paying over $1,400 every month, but only $600 of those dollars going to actually reduce the amount that I owe. And I go into 4 years here. Look here. At the end of the fourth year, only $675 is going to pay down the loan. 5 years, $695 at the end of 5 years. Oh, when I go into the sixth year on this mortgage, I go from paying $600 on this loan to $700. So every 6 or 7 years, all right, I get to pay a little bit more towards the principal. Ladies and gentlemen, how is that a deal? How is that a deal? So you see, when you take a look at how much goes to principal, when you use that formula that they use, the amortization formula, every time you make a principal payment means how many more times can they charge you $1,475.60? Right now, if I follow this plan, they'll get to charge me that much money 360 times. 360 times, because this much goes to the principal, and then they charge me interest on what I have left to pay each month. Let's see what we could do about it. So, Professor, are you with me this morning? Are you able to? I don't know. You said you're getting ready to go to work, or what are you doing this morning?
I'm multitasking.
Oh, good. So, can you role play with me a little bit?
Sure, why not?
Excellent, excellent. Are you able to see my screen?
I can see the Clubhouse.
Okay, but you're not on YouTube on a computer or something.
I'm going back and forth on my phone.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just ask you some questions. All right. So listen, if I make a payment in January, does that mean I can't put any other money with that payment?
I don't see why not.
Okay, so I could put a little extra money with it. So I make a payment in January, $600.61 goes to principal, $875 goes to interest. Okay? $875. Let's first do a little bit of math about this. Okay? It's a low interest loan. But there are real estate investors, there are people who are experts, so-called experts in investing, and they're telling you, do not prepay a mortgage. It's cheap money. It's cheap money. So we'll take the interest cost for the very first month, $875, and I'm putting that in my calculator. $875, all right? And then my mortgage payment is $1,475.61. So I'm going to divide it by interest payment. I'm going to divide it by my entire payment. All right. So we're going to divide that by $1,475.61. Okay. So in other words, 59%, nearly 60% of my payment goes to interest. Listen, if you're putting gas in your tank, and every dollar that they're charging you at the gas station, would you want to buy gas at a place where every time you put money in there, they're charging you 60 cents out of every dollar? 60 cents out of every dollar goes to taxes, and only 40 cents out of your dollar actually goes in to fill up your tank. What? Only 40 cents out of every dollar goes to fill up your tank. What in the world? We wouldn't stand for that. But for some reason, it's okay when it comes to a mortgage that 60% of my money goes to interest on a loan that's supposed to be a 3% loan. Oh my goodness, look who came into the house. Kirk Nugent. Let me put this on the screen here. Kirk Nugent is in the house. Listen, man. Listen, folks. Hang out with me for just a second while I talk about this, okay? Kirk Nugent he taught me how to do this. He was working with me for a while. Okay. And he was here every morning with me, guiding me and helping me. And he says, well, Don, it's time for you let me kick you out of the nest. And you can now do this like I do. You could do it on your own. So Kurt Nugent, thank you so much for your time and your talent. Kurt, would you go ahead and put a link, put something in the chat for me in the comment section, because I want to let people know how they can see you online do your show. All right. And it's not only see how you do your show, but how can they contact you also if they have content. All right. If they have content and they want to get it out there on live video, they want to get it out there live streaming, they can contact you and you can show them how it's done. All right. You can consult for them like you consulted for me on how they can get their content out there. Man, oh man. So he says, absolutely. He says he's got to check in from time to time. He said, this is still one of his favorite shows. Thank you so much, Kurt. We appreciate you. All right. So listen, folks, here's what we've got. We've already shown that 60% of that money goes to interest. So because of that, let me show you what happens if you prepay. The problem with people who are saying, don't pay off this mortgage early. Here's the main problem. They don't know what happens when you prepay. They have no clue at what really happens when you prepay. So when I show you what happens, then you'll be able to rationalize why it is important to do the math. Don't just listen to people, do the math. So if I did this, all right, watch this, Professor. On payment number 1, I've got $600 going to principal, but if I make that payment in January, my February payment says 602.
I'm not sure I understand.
Be quiet, Siri, I'm not talking to you. The 602.11 goes to principal in February's payment. 602.11 goes to principal. Here's my question. Do I have to wait till February to give the bank that $602? Okay. Or could I give it to them early? Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. What if you give it to them early? Go ahead, Professor.
I was just going to suggest give it early because it might make a difference. And I think we're going to find that out.
Exactly. So if I gave it to them early, 602.11, they have to put all of that money towards the principal. No money goes to interest because I've already given them their interest. I've already given them their interest money that month. All $602.11 goes to principal. I'm paid down to line 2 on my amortization schedule. And now they have to figure my next interest payment for February from line 2 and not line 1. Okay. Here's what they're doing. They're taking 3%. Okay. Here's their magic number that they're using. They're taking 0.03, dividing it by 12, and they're coming up with 0.0025. That is the magic number that the bank uses to multiply with your principal balance to figure out how much interest you pay the next month. So they can't use the $349,399.39 because I gave them an additional $600 early. They have to use the $348,797.28. So let's do the math. So I've got my magic number here, my 0.0025. That's 1/12 of the interest rate. We're going to multiply that by 348,797.28 equals $871.99. That is the interest cost on line 3. I'm on payment number one, ladies and gentlemen. I gave them some money early, and now I have removed one payment from my schedule, and I'm on line 3 already on the schedule. What just happened? That $602.11 helped me to skip right over this $873.50 in interest I don't have to pay. So, has anybody ever heard the old saying, a penny saved is a penny earned? A penny saved is a penny earned. Well, no, I don't believe that. I believe when you save a penny, a penny saved is 2 pennies earned. Let me show you what I mean. A penny saved is actually 2 pennies earned. So if I give the bank this money, that money I was going to give them anyway, if I waited till next month to give them the 602.11, I'd have to give them $873.50 to go along with it. But because I gave it to them early, I just skipped over an interest payment I never have to make, $873.50. I just lowered my overall interest cost by over $870. So that is a pretty good return on my money. So I put some money in, and what was the result? $873 I didn't have to pay. So I can look at that as an increase. That's money I didn't have to pay to get $602.11 paid down on my mortgage. I got a benefit at no cost. I received a benefit at no cost. If I do it the bank's way, every single month, I get a benefit paying down the loan, but I get a tremendous cost every month to do it. $871, $870, $868.97, $867.45. Every single month, I get a benefit. There is a tremendous cost that goes along with it. But what happens if I can get the benefit without paying the cost? So here's what we do. We take the money that we save. This is called ROI, ladies and gentlemen, return on investment. Return on investment. I take my $873.50 that I saved. And what did I pay to get it? All right. I gave the bank an extra $602.11. All right. Divided by $602.11. Look at this. Look at this. And then to figure ROI, when you do that division, then you multiply what you got by 100. So now you multiply this by 100, and that's your ROI. 145.07%. 145% return on your money. Let me ask you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you had $602, what investment can you put it into that's going to give you 145% return on your money, or 145% benefit for investing it anywhere else? Professor, can you think of one? Can you think of an investment that I can put $602 and get a 145% return on it?
I've heard of some, but it's risky. It's in the cryptocurrency industry. Do not recommend.
And you're right, it is risky, but this is guaranteed. I can take this $600, put it here, and now look at that. Let me show you something else. And if you're looking at my screen, ladies and gentlemen, you got cumulative principal and cumulative interest here. Cumulative principal and cumulative interest. I want to be able, there are investors that will tell you, why pay off this loan when you could take that money and invest it somewhere else and make 20 or 30% cash on cash return, especially if you buy some rental property and you're renting it out. Okay. And I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree that you can make that kind of money, cash on cash return. I'm not, I don't begrudge anybody that money. But here's the thing, there is a way for real estate investors to get all the money that they need to make when they're investing, and still it makes sense to prepay even a 3% mortgage. And if I can show you how it makes sense to prepay a 3% mortgage, then it certainly will make sense that if your mortgage is 7.7%, as it is now, and it's going to get, and the experts are saying it could go to 8%. When you find out what you can do, you won't care about interest rate anymore. What you'll care about is this the house I want? Is this the building I want? Is this the property I want? And is it going to give me what I need to get out of it? Is it an investment property? Is it actually going to pay me to invest in this property, even if the interest rate is 7, 8, 9, or even 10%? It won't matter. It won't matter, because now you're going to know the math. You know how the bank is doing what they're doing so that you can benefit, even if it is a residential property, even if you're not investing to make money, you're still investing in your family's future. Okay? Because if you are paying 75% more interest on your home than you need to, that's money you can't put in another investment somewhere else. Ooh, watch this. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. So in this particular instance, if I look at 1 year on this mortgage, we're looking at cumulative principal and cumulative interest. In the first year, I pay this loan down by $7,307.27. That's in the first year. How much does it cost me in interest to do that? $10,400.05. $10,000 in interest. If I add that up, ladies and gentlemen, that is $17,700. $17,700 we have to pay out in one year, but only $7,300 of that is credited towards principal pay down, which means I have to keep on paying. Too much of my money is going to interest. If my payment was 0%, okay, if my interest rate was 0%, okay, here's what I need you to show you. Let me bring up my calculator again. Put that back on the screen. My payment is $1475.61 times 12. What if all of that money went to principal? Times 12, that's $17,707.32. $17,707.32. And let me show you what would happen if all of my money went to principal. Listen, I'd knock off over 2 years right in here. I'd be down between 28 and 29 payments. But because too little of my money is credited towards principal and too much of my money is credited towards interest, that means I have to make more payments to get to where I want to go. And that's the whole idea of this amortization schedule. We thought that the amortization schedule was meant for us to give us a payment we could afford, when in fact, this whole thing is set up for investors so that you can take 30 years to pay off something it should only take you 7 years to pay off. And because everybody's doing it, that means it's okay. P.I.L.L method clients actually can pay, we not just pay off their mortgages, but P.I.L.L method clients are paying off their mortgage, their student loans, their credit cards, their car loans in 7 to 9 years. We're doing it every single day of the week. We're showing new people how to do this. So I'm going to put something on the screen. I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to put something on the screen before I go to the next step here. All right. And Kurt taught me how to do this. All right. So we're going to go to our branding here, our banners. And I'm going to put a banner across the screen that says, get a savings and earnings report. All right. If there's a crawl going across the screen right now. Go to ice10k.com. I'm putting it at the top of the page if you're here in Clubhouse. Okay. Putting it at the top of the page. All right. So I want to pin the link, ice10k.com. There it is. That is my digital business card. If you will click on that card, you will see a button that says get a savings and earnings report. You can get a savings and earnings report for free. If you want to know how to beat the bank at their game, if you want to know how to give them their money back, and you choose the timing so that you can pay 75% less interest because you chose when to give them their money back, and stop letting the bank dictate to you when you should pay and how much you should pay, so that they can keep charging you 360 times. Folks, it's not one mortgage. Every month you get a brand new mortgage. Every month it's brand new. Every month it's brand new. And the way that this is set up, 360 times they get to charge you. Let me show you what happens here if I do this. I'm looking at 1 year on this loan. $7,300 goes to principal, $10,400 goes to interest. Here's my question, Professor. Here's my question to you. Do I have to pay the $7,300? Do I have to pay that in 12 monthly installments? Do I have to do it the bank's way?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. If I have that money, if I have it, is there anything preventing me from paying it on line one instead of over 12 months? Can I give it to them all at one time?
Yes, you can.
Watch what happens when I do. I'm going to put this. Now, remember, I owe $350,000 on this mortgage. And over 12 months, I've just reduced how much I owe by $7,300. But the bank charged me $10,400 to do it. So if I take my $350,000 and subtract $7,307.27 at one time instead of over 12 months, look what happens. So I'm going to subtract that 7,000. Oops. Hold it. Back up. 7,307 and 27 cents. Can't forget the 27 cents. Okay. So if I give that to them all at once, I will owe $342,692.73. That was right here. If I do that, then they're going to take their magic number, which is and multiply it by their magic number, which is, if I take the 3% interest rate and divide it by 12, their magic number is 0.0025. I'm going to multiply it by 1/12 of the interest rate, which is 0.0025, equals $856.73. Folks, that's the interest cost on line 13. I made payment number one. I gave them $7,300 and I prepaid the $7,307.27. So the next time they can charge me, it comes to right here on line 13. So I can go from line 1 to line 13. So here's my question to you, ladies and gentlemen. What happened to all the interest charges between line 2 and line 12? Gone. So remember, let's do the math and see what my return on investment would be. Because here's what the real estate investors are telling you. Why put that $7,300 on a 3% mortgage? Why do that? Why do that when you could take that $7,300 and invest it and make 8%, 10%, 12%, 15, 20, even 30% over a period of time? Okay? Why do that? So here's what I need to do. I need all of you real estate investors who are watching this video on the replay. Okay? Some of you may be watching it live. I don't know, because I can't tell who's watching it online. But here's the thing. If you take that $7,307 and you're saying, if I had that money, if I invested it over here, I need you to figure out how much money you could make with that money and what time frame it would take to make it. How much money could you make with that money investing it, and what is the time frame if everything went well? Let's say we could remove all the risk out of your investment. Take that money and invest it. How much could you make in a particular time frame? Let me show you what we make by prepaying here. Okay? So I'm going to take my $10,400, okay? $10,400.05. I'm going to divide it by 7307.27 because I'm going to give it to them all at one time. Okay? 7307.27 divided by 7307.27. Look at this. Look at this. When I do that, I can multiply that now by 100. Multiply by 100 equals 142% return on my money. Ladies and gentlemen, so real estate investors, you tell me. I'm not saying take all of your money and prepay your mortgages. I'm just saying take the money that you've earmarked for reinvesting. Go ahead and invest right away for your long-term compound interest you can earn. But you have money on the side. Some of you have money sitting on the side, just sitting in the bank. Like if you're a real estate investor, some of you have money sitting in the bank that's sitting there for repairs and maintenance on your buildings. It's just sitting there, making 0.1% sitting in the bank. Could you take some of that money and get a for sure return on your money by investing? If we invested $7,300 of that money into this loan, that's $10,000 in interest you don't have to pay. That's 142% return on that money. How long would it take you, in other words, by investing $7,300, how long would it take you at whatever interest rate to make $10,400? How long would it take you? And at what interest rate would you have to put it at to make that? That's what I'm talking about. Even a low interest loan like this, once you do the math, you can get 145% return on your money. Come to the stage if you have any questions. So, Professor, do you have any questions about what we've done so far? If any of you in the audience have a question, any of you watching online, put it in the comment section if you have a question or comment. Any questions or comments at this time?
And I have a comment. It seems like it would make more sense to do what you suggest here and get a credit line for repairs.
You know, I think you're right. So what you're saying is, if I had some money I could borrow for repairs, I have a credit line available. Because here's what I'm at. Because if I have money sitting in the bank for an eventuality, It's going to happen, but there are times when I don't have any repairs. There are some times when I don't have to restore an apartment when people move out. There are times that that money's just sitting there. So you're saying if I had a credit line and I haven't borrowed any of that money, how much interest am I paying on a credit line where I haven't borrowed any of the money yet? How much interest am I paying per month? I'm not paying anything. I have a credit. Let's say I have a credit line of $50,000 or $20,000. But if I haven't borrowed any of the money, it's ready to go. It's ready to use when I need it, but I'm not paying anything at all if I'm not borrowing any of it. So let's just say I have a $7,000 repair. I got a $7,000 repair. Okay. And Professor, thank you for this. Thank you for this. So I got a $7,000 repair and I borrow the money. So give me an interest rate that I can work with, Professor. Give me an interest rate. What would be fair? What even, in fact, giving me something that would be, you would figure that would be
No, let's say you got a good credit score. Let's say 11%.
11%. Okay. I'm going to pay 11% interest on that thing. All right. And I'm going to show you different ways, even at 11%, how cheap that money is to borrow instead of how expensive it is to keep that money in the bank doing nothing. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's pull up another amortization schedule. We're going to put in $7,000 at 11%. Okay. And I'm going to give myself, let's say, we're going to give it 12 months. I'm going to give myself 12 months on this. All right. I want to show you something, and we'll change the number of payments here just to show you what's going on. All right. My first interest payment on that is $64.17. $64.17. Okay. So total interest for the year is $424.04, Professor. And that's if I took just 12 months to pay it back. All right. Are you seeing what we're seeing here? $424. But if I took that $7,000 and put it on the mortgage instead, all right, 350,000. Okay, okay. I'm at the wrong loan. I want the 3% loan. Here it is. Okay. I take that $7,000 here and apply it to the mortgage. That means I don't have to pay. That saves me $10,000 over here. All right. Let me put this close to here, right here. So now we're looking at the $7,000. If I borrow that money, it's going to cost me $424 for the year to borrow it. What if it took me 2 years to pay it back? Let's do 24 months. 24 months. Well, that's got to be expensive. That's got to be expensive if I take 24 months to do that. My first interest payment is still $64.17. Still that. But over 24 months, it just doubles it. This is $830. Let's just go to 5 years. Let's just do 60 months. It's not going to take me 60 months to do it. But what if it did? What if it did? Okay, 5 years to pay it back. First interest cost is still $64.17. But if I took 5 years to pay it back and I just made minimum payments, it would still only cost me $2,132 in interest to borrow that money over 5 years, where I could put on my mortgage. If I put this $7,300 on this, it saves me over $10,000 on this mortgage. Professor, does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Borrowing the money is cheaper. Come on now. I'm getting ready to say it. Borrowing the money in this case is cheaper than paying cash. Borrowing the money is cheaper than paying cash for that $7,000 repair, especially if I have other loans to take care of. I can take that money and prepay it and save way more interest than it will cost me to pay in interest if I borrow the money. And here's what people are thinking, ladies and gentlemen. Why borrow the money when you have to, it would cost you interest to borrow the money. It doesn't cost me interest to pay cash. That's why people are thinking cash is king. But when people tell you that, they're not doing the math. They're not doing the math. They're just saying something and it sounds right. It sounds better to pay cash for something than to borrow the money. If you have the resources, borrow the money. If you have the resources to pay cash, borrow the money because it's cheaper. You can use your cash to either make money or save money. Use your cash differently. Borrow the bank's money and figure out how much you're going to charge me. Bank, how much you're going to charge me to keep your money for a year? $200, $300, $400? How much is going to charge me if I borrowed your money and I took a whole year to pay it back? We're going to do that one more time. Okay? Took a whole year to pay this money back. All right? We're going to put in 12 months again. A whole year to pay it back. It would cost me $424 if I didn't prepay. Folks, $400 that I've got. Well, let's put it this way. Would you pay $424 over here? Would you pay $424 over here to save $10,400 over there? That's the question. Oh my goodness. Listen, I need some folks to come to the stage to help me out with this. Please come to the stage. Okay? Oh my gosh. Miss Nana, you were in the other room. Do you have a question for me today? Come on up to the stage. All right? Let me invite her up to speak because she had a question before. All right? Miss Nana, do you have a question for me? Because I'm trying to get you up here. Anybody else, come up to the stage. Let's talk about this. Miss Nana, I'm glad to see you here. Do you have a question or a comment?
Oh, good morning. I actually was in the other room. I asked my question in the other room, but I just wanted to join in. I really just joined in and I'm just listening at the moment. But if I do have a question, of course, I will come to the mic.
Thank you so much for being here. All right. See, listen, folks, she's coming here. She's on the stage to learn. All right. So come up to the stage and learn. All right. So we just went over. I need some more comments in the chat. I need some more in the comment section. Does this make sense? Let me tell you, folks, does it make sense to keep all this money in cash in the bank when I could borrow money so cheaply? But if I keep my cash in the bank and I'm not making 140% return on that money by prepaying, even on a low interest loan, I'm not making any money if I don't prepay. Does this make sense to everybody? Listen, go ahead and make your comments, ask your questions, come to the stage. Miss Jackie just came in here from the 4 Data Points Academy. All right. Let's go and start inviting some other people in here. All right. Listen. Can we get Otis? Can we get Otis to come in here today? Oh, Otis doesn't get up this early. You can tell him I said so. Listen, so any questions or any comments about what we've gone over so far? I need questions. I need comments. So Miss Alma Rivera says, what do you think about taking a loan to pay credit cards, taking a loan to pay credit cards. Here's what I in let me see who's asking that question. Alma asked me that. Alma, can you give me some more context? Because I have an answer for that, but I'd like to get what exactly what you mean by that. As Steve comes to the stage, may I invite you to the stage? I don't know if you could speak to me or not. Okay, I'll invite you up, but I'd love to talk about your question if you can. But if you can't, I understand, and then I'll take it the way that I understand this is all right. Before paying the home, you okay, like using a HELOC. Here's what I need people to understand. Borrowing the money to pay off, she says she can't come to the stage, okay? Taking money to pay off a credit card, all right? Because here's what we're looking at. I have, let's say, I could get a HELOC and the interest rate is between 5 and 9% on my HELOC, home equity line of credit. But my credit card is like 27%. Let's go crazy on this. Let's say my credit card is 30%. Okay. So I've got Miss Alma. You tell me if I had money on my HELOC, all right, at 9%, does it make sense to take money from my HELOC, all right, and depending on how much money I have, does it make sense to pay off that 30% credit card? That's the question people ask all the time, right? It all depends on how much I owe on the HELOC. It all depends on how much I owe and what my interest cost is each month. Here's what you don't want to do, ladies and gentlemen. Don't refinance. Don't ever refinance just to pay off high interest debt. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'll show you why it doesn't make sense. So people call it consolidating the loan, consolidating loans, especially on a 30-year mortgage. What if we were to refinance this loan? Okay. This is a refinance. I'm showing you here. I got a great interest rate. at 3%. All right. And it was $300,000. And let's say I had $50,000 of debt I rolled into here, like some 10% loans, some 15% loans, some even 20% loans, and even a few credit cards at between 27 and 30%. Okay. $50,000 I rolled into this loan now because now I could get it at 3% interest. Can I show you something that should, and Nana, if you want to see what we're talking about, I've got a link in the chat. I'm going to repost it. Okay. Copy it. And people are watching my examples on YouTube. All right.
Yeah, I actually just logged into the YouTube. So
Okay.
thank you.
Oh, good. All right. So now we've got $350,000. All right. And 50,000 of that is I rolled into it because this is a common practice. People borrow money from their equity to pay off these high interest loans. Let me show you, even at 3%. Okay. Remember, you were at 300,000. You took $50,000 out to pay off these loans. So now you owe $50,000. So here's the question. How long is it going to take you to get back to your original $300,000? And how much is it going to cost to do it? Here's your answer. Take a look at now. If you want to do this on your own, use what I use online. This guy's name is Brett Whistle, BrettWhissel. All right, let me put that in the chat. B-R-E-T, Brett Whistle, WHISSEL.net. There we go. And we got to take that space out. There we go. All right, brettwhistle.net. All right, we're going to put that also in the comment section here. BRETWHISSEL.net. There you go. I use this as a teaching tool. The reason why I use brettwhistle.net is for this reason, is because I can see cumulative principal and cumulative interest when I'm doing an amortization schedule. I can see that. All other amortization schedules I've ever found, they don't add this up for us. They don't make it easy. So I can actually go down cumulative principal. How long is it going to take me to pay off the first $50,000? All right. That will get me back to my original $300,000. As I'm scrolling down, it will take me about, let's see, 6 years, 1, 2, 3, and 4 months. 6 years and 4 months to pay off the first $50,000 that I rolled in because it was high interest debt. How much interest did I just pay? $61,000 in interest to get back to the original $300,000. So let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, if you borrow $10, and you pay back the $10 plus another $10 on top of that in interest, what is that interest rate? Can anybody tell me? I borrowed $10 and I paid $10 in interest to pay it back. What's the interest rate? Anybody? Open your mic, put in the chat. I can't get it. Listen, I can't get anybody to help me this morning. I borrowed $10. I paid the $10 back plus $10 in interest. Let me see if it's in the chat. Okay. Del Gracia Stewart says 100%. Jeffrey West says 100%. Saeed says 100%. Steve Mack says 100%. That is exactly right. That is exactly right. Here's my next question. Does it matter to you if I call it 3%? Does it, listen, it's actually 3%, but I still want you to pay me $10 interest on this $10 loan. Does it matter what I call it? Does that change what happens to the amount of money you have to pay? Does it matter what I call it? If I call it 3%, does it make you feel any better? Here's what I need to show you. Del Gracia says, no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter what you call it. If you borrow $50,000 from the bank, because if you borrow $50,000 of your equity to pay off this high interest debt, if you use it to pay off the high interest debt, and it costs you $50,000 in interest in just 6 years. Folks, if I borrow $50,000, I pay back the $50,000 plus $50,000 in interest. What interest rate is that? I just paid $50,000 interest to pay off a $50,000 loan. What interest rate is that? Isn't it the same 100%? Does it matter that it's in the mortgage? Does it matter that the mortgage says 3%? Does it matter that it's 3%? If I pay $61,000, then it's in excess of 100%. It's 110% in interest I just paid to pay off some high interest. I just turned some 20% loans, some 30% loans, some 10% loans, some 15% loans. I just turned it into 110% loan by wrapping it in this mortgage and paying it off that way. Has anybody ever pointed this out to you before? Even on a low 3% mortgage, people are telling you that all the time. You're making the debt much cheaper by rolling it into the mortgage. If you listen, if you can get a 3% mortgage, can I show you something else? Let me show you one more thing. We're going to duplicate this tab. And this is crazy. We're going to do the same thing at 2.5. Even at 2.5, it doesn't make sense. On a 2.5% mortgage, the first $50,000 paid off, okay, still costs $48,000. Almost as much. So it's not quite 100%, but it's like 98%, 99%. Why would we do that? In fact, if you want to know, we could, actually do the math. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, stop getting fooled by these offers to using debt to pay off debt. I wouldn't do it. Do the math. There are certain, and let me preface it by this. I never say never. What I do say is do the math, and if it makes sense, go ahead. That's what I have to say. Do the math. Actually, just look at the numbers. At the P.I.L.L method, we actually help people to see the numbers all day, every day, before making financial decisions. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get more information like this, do you realize with the P.I.L.L method that you get a coach assigned to you to teach you these things? You have customer service available to you to call 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, to be able to ask questions about your finances as you use our opportunity cost calculator, our award-winning technology to help you to manage your debt. Let me show you something here. We're going to go to ice10k.com. I'm putting it on the screen. Okay, ICE. There it is. ice10k.com. We're putting it on the screen. And if you want to get a savings and earnings report, you just scroll down past ET here. Get your savings and earnings report. Click on this button and go to number one. So don't waste another dollar paying off the wrong debt. Get your free savings report. Get a free savings report, meaning you can know the month, day, and year you could be debt free on all of your debt and how much interest you could save. Do you know our average interest savings is over $100,000 that we save clients? If you don't have to pay that interest, isn't that money you could invest in your own families? Stop giving all this money to the bank. We're here to make sure that you can see for sure what's happening with your money. You can be more efficient with your cash, making sure more of your money is credited towards principal and less of your money is credited towards interest. And the first step is to get a free savings and earnings report. Okay? Go to ice10k.com and click on that button, get a savings and earnings report, and then follow the instructions. This form has 2 steps. Boom. Follow step 1. Fill in this information here. Step 2, then you want to verify that you're an actual real person. So we're going to send you an email. You verify the email. It lets you into step 2. Put your finances in there, and we will tell you, and listen, the more debt, the better. The more debt, the better. I'm telling you, the average family has 13 different debts. So if you have around 13 different debts or less, you're an average American family. Put it all in. Put it in. We will show you how you can pay it all off, not just the mortgage, but everything in 7 to 9 years on average. Some people do it faster. Some people do it. It takes them just a little bit longer, depending on what their obligations are and how much money they make. But we will give you a track to run on so that not only can you get out of debt cheaper, you'll get out of debt faster. And most importantly, you'll be able to live a great lifestyle while you're doing it. What? You mean I don't have to stay at home? I don't have to skip vacations? We can go out to dinner every now and then? Yes. You mean I don't we don't have to drive a 30-year-old car or cut up our credit cards to get this done? No, you do not. We don't have to eat beans and rice every day? No, you do not. To be able to do this, you can live well and get out of debt in an average of 7 to 9 years by using interest cancellation techniques and being guided by our technology. And listen, a lot of people call it like GPS for your money. It tells you exactly how much money to move, what month to do it in, what day of the month to do it on, which loan to attack, so that you can kill the maximum amount of interest per dollar applied. Whew. Would you like to get a bigger bang for your buck? Because that way you could buy more for less. You can, you'll be able to invest more in your family because now I'm not giving all that money and interest to the bank and letting them invest in it, getting them rich. Okay. And now you're learning more about money in total. You can learn how to borrow money, leverage money, so that you can grow your wealth using somebody else's cash instead of your own. Man, oh man. How would you like to borrow money at a discount, ladies and gentlemen? Borrowing money at a discount so that you don't have to pay all of that interest. Now, some of you are excited about what you've heard today. I want to take you back. If you're excited about what you heard, I need your help. I need to get this information out to as many people as I possibly can. Can you do this for me? Can you help me help other people? Can you help the P.I.L.L method as a company get this information out, because no one else is teaching this? So I need you to help me. And how can you help me? By clicking on the button that says become an affiliate. So when you click on this button to become an affiliate, look here. Fill in your name, your phone number, your email address, and tell us how you'd like to get paid. It takes 15 seconds. 15 seconds to fill that out. And what happens? Well, Don, I don't want to sell anything. Well, you don't have to. If you know anyone, you said, listen, I'm watching this video today, this guy's, and I saw that people are paying off their mortgages in like 6 and 7 years. And if they respond favorably to that message and says, well, shoot, I've been looking for something like that for a long time. Says, well, go to YouTube and watch these videos. Go to YouTube and watch these videos. They will choose the videos they want to watch because they're all titled. They will find a video that speaks to them. Follow up with them in 2 days. No more than 48 hours. Follow up with them and ask them, did you like did you like the information that you received? Would you like to get more information? And then here's what you do. If they say yes, go back to the same card, ice10k.com, scroll down, and you'll be able to see refer a friend underneath my picture. Click on refer a friend. When you click on refer a friend, guess what happens? This will come up. You can put their name in, their phone number, their email address, and their zip code. Why do I need the zip code? So we'll know what time of day to call. Because you can't tell by the phone number anymore. where they are in the country. I need the zip code to know where they are in the country, so we'll know what time of day to call. All right. And then who referred them? You put your name and your phone number in here. All right. And give us any additional pertinent information that you think is valuable for us to know at the P.I.L.L Method. We'll give them a call and then get them to fill out a savings and earnings report. That's what we'll do. When they become a client, we'll pay you $300 for sending that to us. And all you did was let them watch a few videos and call them 2 days later and then send us this. That's $300. What if you sent us 2 in 1 month? What if you sent us 2 in 1 month? Well, the first one is $300. The second one is worth $400. The third one is worth $500. The fourth one in the same month is worth $600. And if you happen to send us a fifth one in the same month, we'll pay you $1,200 for that one, for a total of $3,000 in 1 month. You can earn extra money just by sharing the P.I.L.L Method videos. We're trying to get these videos in as many homes as possible, and you all can help starting today. Go to P.I.L.L Method, ice10k.com, ice10k.com, and click that button that says Become an Affiliate. And every few weeks, we have affiliate trainings. Okay, we have trainings so that you can make the most of this opportunity, helping get the information out. Also, you want to learn more about what we do? Get the book. Get the P.I.L.L Method book, and I have a button right there that says Get the P.I.L.L Method book. And what's great about the P.I.L.L Method book is this. So let me go to here, and so that you will be able. I'm going to put the book on the screen right now. Hold on for just a second, and we're going to change things up here. And there it is. Boom. All right. So the P.I.L.L Method book, P.I.L.L Method: A Better Way to Eliminate Debt. That book has been a #1 bestseller on Amazon at least 6 different times. Get the book, watch the videos, learn more about what we're doing, get a savings and earnings report if it applies to you, become an affiliate if you think this information is important and you want to share these videos with other people. And by you sharing, you can also get paid. Do you know we have people that are getting paid all the time for sharing these videos, and they haven't sold a thing. They didn't sell anything, and they're getting paid by us. So listen, I could invest in television advertising, and we've done that. I could invest in print advertising, and we've done that. I could invest in Facebook advertising, and we've done that. But do you know what is more valuable? What is more important? When somebody you know tells you about a great story that they saw, that somebody paid off their mortgage in about 7 years. They saw it on, they saw this, and they said, well, how can I get that information? You say, well, here, get the link. Always have that link available in your notes. Send them the link to the P.I.L.L Method YouTube channel. So watch some of these videos. I'll call you back in a couple of days. If they still want to know more, refer a friend, and we will take it from there. Oh my goodness. Any questions or comments about what we've learned today, ladies and gentlemen? Any questions or comments about what we've learned today in terms of let me get this banner down. All right. In terms of understanding what it means to prepay even a low interest mortgage. And I just showed today where you can get 130, 140, 145% return on your money, even with prepaying a 3% mortgage. Where else are you going to be able to get 140% return on your money in such a short period of time? I'll do this one more time for the people that just came in. If we do the math, I have a $350,000 mortgage at 3%. Here's what I have. We're going to do a recap. $350,000 at 3%. My payment is $1,475.61. In the first year, I paid this loan down by $7,307.27, and it's going to cost me $10,400.05 in interest to do that. If you want to see what we're doing, go to the YouTube channel and search for P.I.L.L method, and you can see these numbers. Okay, if I prepay the $7,307.27, if I give that to them all at once, I'm not saying everybody should do this. I'm just saying if you did, okay, because that's all the principal payments added up. I can disrupt the bank's timing. I'm going to pay them $7,000, but if I had it, I could give it to them all at once if I had it. Okay, so if I give that to them, guess what? I'm paid down to right here in 1 month. Line 12 on this amortization schedule. When the bank does the math, that's going to give them, now I have the payment on line 13. What just happened? I went from payment number 1 to payment number 13 on this schedule the next month. That means this money, I don't have to pay all of this $10,000 to the bank. I don't have to pay that now because I skipped right over it. So if I have $10,000, okay, here's what I got out of it. $10,000 I don't have to pay. $10,400.05 divided by my prepayment, which is 7307. Oops. Back it up. 7307.27. And then I multiply this number by 100. Multiply by 100. That gives me my ROI. Folks, that's 142% return on my money. I invest $7,300. I save $10,000 in interest. And it's going to take me 12 months to stay in this loan. If I stay in this loan for 12 months, I will realize 142% return on my money. You can't beat that with a stick. 142% return on your money. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this has been impactful to you. All right. I'm getting ready to get out of here. And we'll be back here on, we're here 3 days a week. We're here on Sunday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But this weekend is my anniversary. Patricia and I are flying out to New York today. So for Friday and for Sunday, we're going to have replays on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We're going to have replays up. And because October is already here, some of you who have student loans now know that it is time to start repaying the student loans. I have a whole show dedicated to student loans I'm going to put up for Sunday. Sunday show is going to be on student loans and the SAVE program, SAVE, the SAVE program. If you have student loans, you need to look into that program right now. I'll just give you some highlights of the SAVE program. Number 1, all right, your payment is going to be lower with the SAVE program. Number 2, some of you will qualify for 0 payment. That's going to be good, okay? Your payment's going to be lower, and some of you could qualify for 0 payment. Number 3, if you have an income-based payment before, but your payment was not covering all of the interest, then the unpaid interest was capitalized and you had to start paying, that got added to your principal and you started paying interest on your interest. Therefore, your loans actually started to grow. You actually end up owing more on your loans because of capitalized interest. Number 3, that's gone. No more capitalized interest. Out of here. if you're in the SAVE program. All right. So, and here is a good one. Here's a good one. If you are um, um, in the program for 20 years, in the SAVE program for 20 years, even if you have a reduced payment or zero payment, 20 years, your loans are forgiven. After 20 years, gone after 20 years. All gone after if you get into the SAVE program. So get in there. I'm going to supply the links. I'm going to give you all the information. The White House from the White House staff, all of the information you need to sign up for the SAVE program, even starting today. Look it up. Look it up. So let me see if I can get from my notes right quick. All right. Student loan from my notes. I'm doing a quick thing here. All right. Nope, that's not what I want. Okay, that's not what I want. Let me go back. I got to get back to my notes here. Student loan. Where am I? Okay, here it is. There it is. All right. If you want to apply, I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you want to apply for the SAVE program, copy. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. Thank you, everybody who's wishing me happy anniversary. I appreciate that. Okay. It's 22 years with my bride. And follow me, follow the P.I.L.L method on, you can follow me on IG and on Facebook. I'll be putting some pictures up of our trip to New York, and we're going to see some plays. We're going to visit some family, and we're going to visit some friends from Clubhouse on tomorrow night. RB the Realtor is having a thing, networking event, and some of your favorite speakers from Clubhouse are going to be there as well. Here is that is the link to information on how to apply. And here is the White House fact sheet. Okay. Here's the White House fact sheet, everybody. We're going to copy that and put this in here as well so you can find it. Here's the White House fact sheet on that. And I'll give you two fact sheets on that because they're not exactly the same. So we're bringing that over. There it is. We're sending that to you. And then I've got another fact sheet here. We're going to copy that and we're going to paste that as well. All right, there it is. So we've got two fact sheets on the SAVE program. We have some more information on how to apply for this. And guess what? You're going to be so much better off. This is the biggest change in student loans ever. And it's the best change. Okay. Oh, one last thing. Let's say you find out, even if you have to pay and your payment is cut in half. Okay. Even if you have to pay and your payment is cut in half, it doesn't fit into your budget. Because you applied, they're going to give you a 1-year on-ramp to get things in order so that you can start making the payments. Listen, folks, I gave you the information here. Read about it. 12 months just to prepare to pay on your student loans. Oh my gosh. You definitely want to read up on this. So I've got your links here. I've got the whole story. We're going to tell it over again on Sunday. I want to thank everybody for being here. Professor, I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your comments. Thank you, everybody. All right. So I've got one last thing to share with you. I'm actually going to be with an online church by the name of Living Manna Ministries. All right. And I'm going to, let me get that information here. I'm going to be doing an 8-week series with them. 8 weeks. Okay, we're going to put that on the screen there. Okay, I'm doing 8 weeks with them. All right, starting November 12th. Starting November 12th, and it's at where we start each evening on Thursdays for 8 sessions. All right, and at 5:30 Pacific time, 6:30 Mountain time, 7:30 Central Time, and 8:30 Eastern Time for 8 weeks. And we're going to dive deep into a subject. It says money answers all things, bridging faith and finance through stewardship. It's going to be an amazing time. And that's with Living Manna Church. So, you can see, you can go to YouTube and search for Living Manna Online Church. They've got a YouTube channel, and you can follow them on Facebook to find out where they are. Plus, I have it. Their links are on this flyer at the bottom. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here today. We're going to be cutting out. The last thing we're going to hear from is from Dr. Eric Thomas. All right, and Del Gracia Stewart says, that is where I saw you first. Del Gracia, listen, thank you so much for being here and following us all this time. I appreciate you so very much. You show up on a regular basis to support us. And I absolutely do appreciate it. All right. So, folks, we're going to be, don't miss out on that opportunity. We're going to get deep into some things that we just don't have time to talk about during our time together here on our daily shows. But anyway, we're getting ready to get out of here. I'm mostly packed. We fly out of here this afternoon, and we're heading to New York. We're going to be staying in Times Square. I will be sending you some fabulous pictures. So make sure that you follow us on Instagram. So does anybody have anything they have to ask or make a comment in the last few seconds that we're here today? Any questions or comments about the information you received? All right, you can put it in the chat. Nana says, amazing. Thank you so very much for that. Happy anniversary from Steve Mack. Jackie Wood says, happy anniversary. All right. And Del Gracia says, she saw me first, and I'm not seeing any other questions or comments. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for let me bring back. Oh, thank you. She says, safe trip, have fun. I will be happy to do just that. So let me bring this up. There we are. And we're going to take this out. There we are. All right. So there, I just wanted to say goodbye to you. And we're going to be gone for the next couple of days. So enjoy the replays we're going to have up for you on Friday and on Sunday. And we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey says, happy anniversary. Nana says, happy anniversary. Have a safe flight. Thank you so much for that. I'm looking forward to talking to you all again. And don't forget what we asked you that we talked to you about, okay? I Am Unique says, have a great trip. Thank you so much for that. Bruce Coppin says, have a great time in NYC. We definitely will do that. All right. We're looking to have some fun when we go. Sometimes you have to get away and do just relax a little bit and have even some mini vacations along the way inside the year. So, folks, let's get ready to hear something from the hip hop preacher, Eric Thomas, and how he managed his debt using the P.I.L.L method. Saeed, thank you so very much for that. I appreciate that. And we'll hear from him. And that's going to be it for today. All right. So let's get ready to put that on the screen. And as we get ready to get out of here, my name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And we're here 3 times a week giving out valuable information. And here's what I want to leave you with. Don't forget to go to ice10k.com and get a savings and earnings report. Sign up to become an affiliate and by the book. All right. All right. Excellent. So let's get ready to hear from Dr. Eric Thomas, see what he has to say. And I will see you all. I'll be back next Wednesday. All right. We'll be back live next Wednesday. See you, folks. Played the wrong video. Sorry. There we go. Here is, I want to get the right video. There it is.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.